For those who know and been around for a long time, today I'm making butter biscuits. The best. You start out with doing 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Mix that up. Then you add in a chopped, cubed up stick of cold raw butter and a cup of milk. I'm doubling this, so everything's gonna get doubled. I might even triple it. I'll probably triple it. It's been a long week and the kids are hungry and they have football today, so mix it all together and I'll show you how to incorporate those ingredients. Be sure to preheat your oven. And make sure you welcome your mother to come over. I have tripled my ingredients, so it's 6 cups, 3 teaspoons, and 3 tablespoons. And now I'm gonna do it in my wet ingredients. I'm gonna use all 4 sticks of our raw butter because it would call for 3 if I tripled it, but I'm gonna add another stick because I like butter. Specifically, I like raw butter, so I'm going for 4 sticks. It won't do any harm, it'll only make it better. Slice it down the middle, and then you're going to cube it like this. All right, so I've already put 3 sticks in goes the last stick. Do not over stir the butter, okay? Very important to not over stir the butter. You just want it to go in there to get mixed in slightly like this, but don't over stir it. Next is the milk. I'm gonna turn off the speed so it doesn't actually combine too much. All right, since I've added 3 cups of raw milk, it's ready to start mixing. And gently, that is gonna mix just for a little bit until it starts getting sticky. It takes like 10 seconds. You see now it's getting sticky? And it's done, like that. You don't want it to get creamed, okay? You want it to stay chunky like this. And I have floured my countertops, giving you a little love. And I'm going to take this dough out. I'm gonna plop it right here. I have now pressed all of my dough into about an inch-high stack. I flipped it only once so I can get coating of the flour on both sides, but that's it. Now I'm gonna slice into like cubes. I'll show you what it looks like when I make my biscuits. Very simple, very easy, no need for overthinking it. I just come on over and get my scariest knife I've got, okay? And then I just go down the line like this, okay? Like so. Because my teenagers are already like mad that I even had the audacity to sleep and not like have this piping ready for them by the time they woke up. So I'm already up against the deadline of the meanest bosses ever. And so let's get this done. You can make these any size. It really doesn't matter. If you like a crispy biscuit, do it a little smaller or go longer on the time. But that's it. Now I'm gonna put it on a baking sheet. All right, on the sheet, baking sheet. Like I said, don't overthink it. Let's get these in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. In they go. Next, I'm going to use my bacon fat container. If you don't have one of these are great. It's where you strain your bacon pieces out of like your skillet. And I can't do this with 2 hands, I had to wait. And this is all bacon fat. So every time I make bacon, I strain it and this is pure bacon fat. I'm about to make gravy. I've just added my bacon fat. Now you can do obviously making fresh bacon. I just make so much bacon throughout the week that I always have a ton of bacon fat left over. So this is how a great way to use it without having to make actual bacon. So it'll still get all the bacon flavor in the biscuit gravy. So I'm gonna have this melt down and I'm gonna add my flour, my raw milk, salt and pepper, call it done. But if you're looking for a really cool Christmas gift, this is definitely one of them. If you don't have this gadget yet, a separator for your bacon fat. Genius. You put it in your fridge, in the door of your fridge. It's an awesome thing. I use this all the time cooking, when I'm making my steaks, when I'm making my chicken in my skillet in lieu of olive oil, which is expensive, I will do bacon fat. It adds flavor and it's also just kind of a byproduct already from cooking. So this is a great way to use that. So I've added about a tablespoon or 2 of flour to the bacon fat. What you're looking for the consistency, and you want it to be nice and creamy, is you want it to be like a little thicker than this. You don't want it to be too watery, but not like a paste. So I'm probably gonna add another tablespoon of flour. Okay. I have a lot of flour just in case if I need it, because it's always a little different each time. It's never the same. Okay, it's kind of like getting a little bit thicker. That's what you want to see. You want to see thickness, but not chunky paste. And then I'll be adding my raw milk, salt, pepper, and then turn it off. Not even enough heat to make my raw milk lose all of its beneficial bacteria, which is what I love. All right, it's ready. All right, the star of the show. And I don't know how much I'm gonna actually need, so I'm gonna keep this readily available. Yeah, see how it thickens up really quick? It's like cement, okay? So I'm definitely gonna have to add a good amount. Now, if you don't like gravy, but you have like one person that wants to have gravy, make a small amount. If you have 18 people, make a large amount. In my household, I'm gonna have about 6 people that are gonna want gravy. My teenager pours enough for 4 sailors. So this is probably not gonna even be enough, but I don't wanna have a ton wasted, so I did kind of a moderate in the middle amount, because some of us will also just do honey, raw butter. All right, I ended up turning off the heat, and this is perfect. So now I'm just gonna get rid of all the little tiny little pieces of flour lumps. Smoothing this out. That should be good. And then handy dandy on the go. Salt. Always be shy with the salt, because you can always add more salt. You can't remove the salt. You then have to change your entire recipe again. Be generous with the pepper. So you can always add more pepper, especially if there's kids involved. Let them pepper their own stuff. That should be good for everybody. Taste test. Definitely needs more salt. But see, you can always add it in. You can't take it out. All right, let me get my biscuits out of the oven and we're done. Can you hear that? This is like baking ASMR. These are now crispy on the outside, but they're moist and fluffy as a pillow inside. And the raw butter, now no longer raw, now it's definitely not, has melted, and it is now coating and absorbing. Don't remove them. At this stage, this biscuit is soaking in all that butter. This whole thing was coated with butter. It's soaking back in. It's reabsorbing back into the biscuit. It makes it so good. That's why I call them butter biscuits. This is now soaked in butter. Do you remember how much butter there was in this tray when I first pulled it out? Yeah, these biscuits are soaking them up. Good morning, sweetheart. My daughter just came in the kitchen. She smelled the biscuits. All right, we're ready to serve up. Have a great Saturday, guys. We're gonna go off to have football games. Let's go. And the gravy goes right on top. Some people have never seen this, James. This is a meal they've never seen. This is how it's done.